Budget Committee is called to order. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a brief moment of silence for our military men and women that are deployed overseas. Thank you. Okay, public comments. Any public comments? Cool. We never have public comments. Great. So liaison reports then. We'll jump right into that. So Maureen, you want to start us off with Town Hall?
Sure.
Oh, wait, you know what? Let's do the minutes first.
Oh, yeah,
I
we have
didn't put that on
minutes
the
for
agenda.
November and,
We didn't approve minutes for November either?
no, and January.
All right.
Okay. So I sent out the January minutes the other day.
Yep.
Hopefully what happened in November?
Well, the last
that's when
meeting
we
was
came
our
up with all the
vote meeting.
questions.
So, yeah.
Okay. November was our meeting here where we came up with all the questions and then went right to the town council
Yep.
meeting.
Yes.
And then January was when we voted on everything. Okay, so there was
And
anything in
then
the-
we had the other meeting where we just re-voted.
Yeah, we don't have to do minutes for that.
I didn't do any minutes for that
Perfect.
meeting.
No, I just, no,
Yeah,
that's,
I think we're off the hook on that one.
okay.
All right,
good.
so was there anything from the November minutes that needed to be changed?
No.
I wasn't there.
Okay, so I'll accept a motion to, I don't know, ratify the November minutes.
Motion to accept
as
November
is?
minutes?
Yeah,
So moved.
second?
First, second.
Cool, all in favor?
I,
Aye. So it passes unanimously. And then, same question for the January minutes. I'll
Oh,
accept-
Pat being abstained because I wasn't there.
You weren't there in November?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was right before the town council. I couldn't make it.
All right, so that's 4-0 then.
4-0, yeah, one abstention.
That's why I had you not on it.
I figured that out. Yeah.
Okay, and so there was some corrections to the January minutes,
Yes.
which added Jason to the meeting.
Yes, even though all his votes were there.
Yeah. No, everything it looked fine. Yeah.
So, motion to accept the corrected version of the January minutes.
so moved.
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, 5-0. Okay, so then liaison reports. What's going on in Town Hall, Maureen?
The town is anticipating coming in under budget, but it's not at the same time, this time it's not the same level as prior years. This is due to various situations that have occurred. For example, the truck that went into the river and the plane that crashed. So these situations, and the storm, so these situations have deployment of personnel, then the town has to fill shifts with overtime. So because it's been a very busy winter, what they've done is trying to summarize here. They've asked all town departments to obtain additional approval for discretionary spending such as non-essential supplies, repairs, and maintenance that are not critical and are able to be delayed without damaging the integrity of service that the town can provide, and trainings. These measures will remain in place until the anticipated budgetary surplus provides enough of a buffer that the town feels comfortable it would be able to absorb the costs associated with an emergency event.
Okay.
Does
So
that make sense?
they're still anticipating coming in at or under budget, but they're a little behind where they normally are at this time of year. So on an abundance of caution, they're tightening their belts a little bit.
Yes,
Is that fair?
yes, till they feel comfortable. It's been a
Okay.
crazy winter.
It has. Okay. Town council.
There was nothing at the budget related at the meeting on last Tuesday, so a couple of days ago, but on the one on the 5th, There were a couple of expenditures. So there was an expenditure from the Maintenance Trust Fund for $18,000. From DPW, they're paying for bills for winter maintenance at some of the town facilities. Another expenditure from the Maintenance Trust Fund for DPW, $801.10. There was a piping issue related to a hot water line at South Fire Station, and they need to pay the bill for that. And then we also accepted $3,000 from a grant for an AED loaner program. The fire department will be getting 3 AEDs for town citizens to be able to rent out. So if you're having an event and you would like an AED there, you can go down to the fire department and rent one and then bring it back at zero cost to the taxpayers. And this $3,000 in grant funding will come to us, and we can just have them available for people who want them and feel they need them for whatever reason. So sounds like a great new program.
Cool.
Yep, and that's it.
If you don't mind, I actually attended too. I think the two things I know that were kind of helpful, the Lantern publication on the plain language warrant articles for the upcoming one, and there's some educational topics in there, so it's a good read if you haven't read it.
Yep.
And I think the next town council meeting covers water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Article 3.
March 4th,
Thank you.
March
Yep.
4th.
And it's at 6 p.m.
p.m.
It's an hour earlier. Yep,
at the high school.
at the high school.
At the high school.
Yep.
Okay, so is that like a public hearing or something?
Yeah, we're gonna have DES there, we're gonna have Senator Chuck Morse, gonna have Bill Boyd. All the parties that are kind of involved in getting us the funding.
Is that March 5th?
March
March
4th.
March 4th.
Monday, 6 p.m.
Yep.
At the high school.
At the high school, in the cafeteria where deliberative was.
Okay, thanks, Sarah, and Kate and Justin.
Thank you for
Kate
mentioning
and
the motion.
Jason. Jeez. It's been a week. I don't know if anybody can
Jason
tell.
Goldberg.
Sorry, Jason. All right. So police is me. I talked to the chief today. He says they're under budget as usual. They expect to be under budget at the end of the fiscal year. They have 60 officers on the department right now. They hired 5, but they've had some retirements. One guy retired. Another retired to take another position, basically. He had his years in and could go whenever he wanted, and he got an opportunity and decided to do that. So they've had 2 retirements, and they hired those 5 gentlemen that we met the other day, not including the canine. And he's working on more. So they have more in the pipeline. And what else did he tell me? That's all I can think of. There were no major expenditures lately. Nothing new. Ryan is not here, but maybe we can do his later when he gets here. Say again.
School board.
School board. I skipped school board. Go ahead.
You're good. So for this quarter, the school district is projected to run under budget, which is good. They also accepted some safe grant funds for a project that they're doing for door locks throughout the district. They locked it in with the contractor that they wanted to do it through, so $377,076 are coming from a safe grant towards this project. The other $185,956 are coming from the security warrant article from last year's vote.
Okay.
That's all I got for schools.
I forgot to mention that the chief of police wanted to thank Budget Committee for our work we've done on the budget this year and helping us work through that stuff. He was had lots of good things to say about us, so we've got him fooled. Ryan, how are you?
Sorry, I'm late.
You're good, Ryan.
We're just doing like liaison reports real quick. You got anything from fire?
Nothing to report.
Okay, sounds good. In that case, then we'll move on.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have the candidates introduce themselves, make a few remarks, and then if anybody from Budget Committee has a couple questions, we'll field those. Sound good?
Great.
So I'll have Kate and Jason step down because they're candidates, so it wouldn't be fair to have them quizzing you guys. So, hold on. Why don't we go in alphabetical order? How's that sound? So in that case, Kate will lead the way, and then Jason, and then Ms. Marini, and then Mr. Plaza. Sound good?
All right, how many minutes are we giving them for their?
I don't know, are we timing them?
I mean,
I'll be brief.
we want to give them like 3 minutes.
We'll give them 5.
We'll give them
5
All right.
minutes. Okay,
Up to 5. You can stop early, of course.
Right.
great. I was like, I didn't have 5 minutes prepared. So, hi everyone. My name is Kate Burbage. I grew up in Derry and graduated from Peak Academy, class of 2004. And then I went to Boston for college, where I graduated with a degree in economics and a minor in finance. About 4 years later, I graduated with my MBA from Simmons College as well. And I have worked in project controls ever since. I do project scheduling, budgeting, finance, risk change management for life science companies all across the U.S. So I enjoy that. It's really fun. I like it a lot. So I have a good finance, good budgetary, economics background that I think would be very helpful for Budget Committee. I've lived in Londonderry for about 4.5 years now. I bought my house in August of 2019, so I lived in Massachusetts for a little while, and then I came back home, basically. And I really enjoyed living here. I have two kids who are in the school system, 2 kids who are not yet in the school system. So, you know, being a citizen who invests time and energy and you know, consideration into the community is really important to me. I think through the last 5 months or so on the committee, I've been able to provide thoughtful, factual information about, you know, some things, you know, related to both the school building and the pickleball courts even. You know, I've enjoyed it. I've really liked it a lot. I've loved being able to contribute to the community and meeting new people. And this has been great, and I want to keep doing it. So I'm hoping I can get elected for another 3 years. So, yeah, that's
Awesome. Thank
really
you.
it.
So, questions. Why don't you guys start? Any questions?
No.
So I'll start.
All right.
Why do you want to run for budget committee? I think that's right. So all these questions I ask, I'm going to ask everyone. So everyone gets the same question. So no worries. So why do you want to run for the budget committee?
Sure. So I'm running for budget committee because I believe that, you know, on one hand, I've enjoyed it, but on the other hand, I feel I have a responsibility to give back to the community that has given back so much to me. You know, I have a background in economics and finance and project controls, you know, and budgeting and cost controls and cost management support. This is an opportunity for me to give back what I've been able to take, and, you know, meet some really great people. It's just fun, honestly. And again, I want to give back to my community because I think it's really important to be able to do that. So,
Cool. Go ahead, Ryan. You got anything?
I was just going to ask, what was your biggest takeaway from your time in the budget committee? What did you learn?
So the biggest thing that I learned is how carefully managed and controlled the budget is compared to some of the other projects that I've been on, and how much more detailed the town is budget-wise compared to some of the project work that I've done. So it's been interesting seeing it from a government perspective as opposed to a corporate perspective. I think, you know, we have a responsibility to ensure that the money is spent wisely, as we are all taxpayers. And so it's, you know, it's that there's that emotional piece to budgeting and being part of the committee that I didn't quite anticipate, you know. When you're doing it for work, it's not my money. It's, you know, whatever company I'm contracted for at this time. But doing it for Londonderry and being on the budget committee, it's different, right? Because it's my money. And so it's been a great experience balancing, you know, that emotional pull to make sure that we're doing right by not just me, but for all the taxpayers of Londonderry. But that I wasn't expecting that, and that was one of my more interesting takeaways, I guess, of my time over the committee. So,
Excellent.
Ron, you got something?
Yeah, a quick question. You kind of came in right at the biggest time for the budget committee. How did you feel about the time commitment and that? How did that affect you? You feel like you did okay?
Yeah,
You had enough time? Okay.
I think it was great. The time commitment was not really an issue. My husband's a stay-at-home dad. I'm very lucky in that way. So I don't have to worry necessarily about like my husband working, and it gives me the freedom and the ability to be able to be a part of this committee and give back to my community in that way. And I didn't find it hard. The one caveat to that was at the November 4th budget presentation session. It was my daughter's second birthday, so I had to leave a little early. But other than that, it's been great. It hasn't been an issue. So
Thank you for stepping up and
oh, you're
volunteering.
welcome. Thank you. It's been great.
Yeah.
So
So my question is kind of related to Ron's.
sorry.
No worries. And I'm same as Joe. I'm going to ask everybody the same thing, but there's a little bit of a commitment here with budget committee. It's not too bad from like March to like October. It's basically once a month from March to October, and then it's a lot from November to February. And so, there are weeks when we have a couple meetings a week. I don't think we've had more than that, but pretty regularly it's a couple meetings a week, or at least one a week, all of November through February. So my question is, are you ready for that commitment? Are you ready? Are you willing to serve the full 3 years, basically?
yeah, I do believe I am. I think short of that November 4th meeting that I had to leave a little bit early, I've been able to make all of the meetings. I've even participated in some, I guess, extracurriculars, you could call it, when the fire department did, a presentation on their warrant article over at the senior center. I went when the school board presented their second and third warrant articles about the expansion of the kindergarten. I went, sort of as both a budget committee member and a member of the public to, see how that was going to go. So, I'm very much prepared for the time commitment, especially, knowing what it is. I'm happy to do it. So,
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
Anything further? Cool.
Oh, I've just got two more.
Okay.
So no, you're all good. Do you have any experience with maintaining or overseeing a budget in either your work experience, home experience?
I am the sole budgetary person in my family. My husband has a very hands-off approach to the budget, fortunately and unfortunately in some ways. He feels I make the money. I should manage my money. It's our money, of course, but he sort of lets me do the budget for the house. At work, it's more or less me sort of looking at it and understanding the budget from a a cost perspective, but also a schedule perspective. And I usually fall more on the schedule perspective. So how much is this going to cost for additional resources and time? So in my, I guess, work, it's more supportive. At home, I am the sole person doing the budget. I doubt my husband could even tell you how much is in our checking account right now, which neither here nor there, but it's me. I do it all at home.
And then what experience from your work, home life, do you think are going to be an asset to the Londonderry Budget Committee? Or should I say skills? Would that be more applicable? Would that make it easier to answer the question?
Yeah, so a lot of my work involves me trying to manage, client expectations with, the reality of things and what it is that we need. And so there is that fun game that you've got to play. It's that balance, right? It's like we need this, but we want this, and how do we balance that? And I think I'm very good at being able to look at both sides of the different stories and weigh pros and cons against each. I try really, really hard to look at facts and not emotional opinions about things, and weigh that in a way that makes the most sense. And again, everything that's very factual based as opposed to emotional. Sometimes some things it may not make sense for us to do, even though as much as I may want it, knowing that it may raise taxes by a lot. If I want it, but it doesn't make sense because we don't actually need it, I understand my commitment and my responsibility to the town to say no, even if it's something I myself may want. And again, I've had to do that at work, and that's just sort of the way things go. You don't always get what you want, but you do what you commit to the things that you think you can be
responsible for. And being able to weigh that, I think, would be something I could very much bring to the table. So,
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
thank you.
Either way,
everyone.
Jason.
Yeah, I wrote this out. Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Goldman. I'm running for the 3-year Budget Committee advisory position. As you know, this was my first budget season as a committee member. For me, this season was about learning the budget process, about understanding how our government works, and understanding my role as a committee member. A little bit about me as a candidate. I have 2 degrees in math. My undergraduate degree was in business applications. My business applications track. My graduate degree was in statistics. I have several years of experience in estimating future projects for large organizations, which includes refining project needs, finding alternative strategies within a budget, and risk and uncertainty analysis regarding unknowns about these projects. I think these skills fit well into the budget committee role, where we advise on projects and budgets to best fit the needs of our community. My thoughts on a good budget: any budget presents a real trade-off between its cost impacts on our community and its benefits. To create a good budget, we need to research the costs, benefits, and risk associated with all options to fulfilling the need and put forward our best advice. In our current fiscal environment, I think it's critically important to fund our most critical needs first. I believe in informed and fact-based decision-making in regard to all warrant articles. I believe in having discussions on the merits, costs, impacts on all issues impacting our town, even though those conversations can be hard and occasionally uncomfortable. I believe in respecting everyone, even when I strongly disagree with them. I look forward to volunteering to serve as Budget Committee member for our town again, and thank you for your consideration and support, and look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Jason. You want to start?
Yep. So why are you running for the Londonderry Budget Committee?
Sure.
Yeah.
So when I got appointed the last fall, I said I had 2 goals. I wanted to meet more people, and I have. I met a lot of people. I'm really thankful for that. The second is this is, again, a position that I think my skills are best suited for. And this is what I know as far as my trade. So
Right.
it's an opportunity to give back.
Want to keep going to all 3?
I'll just do all 3 now. Yeah. In your work and home life, do you have any experience managing a budget?
Yep, of course. So home life first, I guess. So I have this crazy Excel that tracks by week how much income I have between me and my spouse, and what are our expenses, and then what are the big project needs we want in a particular calendar year. What are some risks and opportunities that are going to come up, and what happens if life changes. As far as work environment, it's more of an advisory position as far as funding goes. My work culture is really great in that we really value creating a really great product. So it's really nice to be able to contribute, and I even sometimes push towards that better product, and they listen, which is awesome.
All right. And then what additional experiences or skills from your life do you think will be an asset to the Londonderry Budget Committee?
Yep. Yeah, like I said, estimating future projects is kind of, you have to really understand everything. You need to understand your big, what do I want, what's my requirement, right? What am I asking for on paper, and how do I achieve it? You figure out alternative strategies to get there, different alternatives, cost, benefits, risks, the works, schedule, big, when do I actually need it? All of those really play into what we do here.
I'll ask the same question as well. What was your biggest takeaway from your time at the Budget Committee?
So, admittedly, I moved here in 2020. I wasn't super involved in politics prior, so I think my biggest takeaway, it's really kind of two, right? It's one, how our government works, right? You don't inherently know that our school and our town council are really two different boards managing two different budgets. So that's a huge takeaway. And then my second takeaway, again, is the people. Seeing really engaged people is really inspiring. A lot of people giving back.
And same question, are you ready for the commitment that these 3 years will bring?
Yeah. So I think when I was appointed last fall, I think we said 2 days per week. I have to admittedly, during budget season, I was like, whoa, when it was like 2 or 3 days a week. And I really did have that period of time where like, oh, I don't know, scratch my head if I want to do this, right? But I obviously put my name in to go for re-election. I am committed to this. Now I have a better understanding what the actual need is, what the requirement is. I'm more comfortable with it, and yeah, I think that answers the question. So yes, I'll be here, as long as you let me, as the people.
Quick comment, Patrick.
Everybody good?
Quick comment.
Oh, go, Ron, sorry.
I just want to thank you for stepping up and doing the 5 months. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks. Cheers.
Ms. Marini. You mind if I call you Wendy?
I don't mind at all. So it's great to meet y'all. I want to thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to introduce myself and everything. My name is Wendy Marini, and a little bit about me. I moved to Londonderry from Texas in 2008. We had looked at a lot of towns in the area, but we just fell in love with Londonderry and the orchards and the kind of small town feel that it has. So decided to buy here. And I'm a single mom. I'm maintaining and renovating a house here in town. My daughter goes to Londonderry Middle School, so I have a vested interest in the school system here. As far as my education and work background, I obviously attended quite a bit of school in Texas, attended colleges there, and ultimately I ended up graduating magna cum laude from UMass with a pre-law degree, concentrating in computer science and also criminal justice. And then as far as my career, I have worked in the IT field with financial institutions and hospitals for most of my career. Currently, I'm an applications engineer at a hospital in Massachusetts, and have worked with project management in all my various capacities for those, and also at the financial institutions, sometimes working with reconciling, moving huge assets from companies for those type of projects for the like data conversion and that type of thing. And so I just, would be really happy to have the chance to be on the budget committee and represent the people of Londonderry and help make a difference for y'all. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so why are you running for the budget committee? What compelled you to throw your name on the ballot?
I actually, honestly, I never thought that I would get the chance to actually be in any part of like town legislature or anything like that. And someone had mentioned it to me. Actually, even my ex-husband had had actually pushed and said, I think you would be really good at doing this. And just in speaking with neighbors and other people that I know in town, it just seems like not a lot of people have the opportunity or the time to do it. And I thought, well, I could actually possibly make a difference and just help out. I know it's something that it's difficult for a lot of people to do, and I just think it's actually another ulterior motive would also be to grow my community out. All of my family and friends are in Texas, and I do now have a few friends up here, but it would also be a way to help grow my community and actually get out there and talk to people. So I would love the chance to do that.
All right, and what experiences from your work and home life, what budget experience do you have within your work and home life, if you have any?
So for budget experience, I obviously as a single mom do the whole budget for my household. I have various spreadsheets, and just being in IT, I keep track of it with that. So I budget everything out for income and then how much I can save. So I pretty much run all of that, luckily very successfully. As far as with work, the experience that I've had with that was at specifically at Fidelity Investments. Like I said, doing conversion of 401k plans and bringing in data and the money and having to make sure that that was all reconciled. So that's been my experience as far as work with that.
All right, and what skills and experiences do you believe will be an asset to the budget committee?
One, I actually love my numbers. I'm more of a number. I always say I'll remember any number. I have credit card numbers memorized, but I won't remember people's names necessarily. But all of my jobs and even my hobbies require me to be very meticulous and precise. And I think having a lot of attention to detail will help me with being a part of the budget committee. And just also, just really that eagerness to just help out and hopefully keep everything balanced and everything. It's even been just interesting, the little bit that I heard from the minutes that y'all have given. It's like it would be great to be a part of that. So hopefully I would be an asset.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you talk to me about any other involvement or engagement you take part in town? Any committees, clubs?
I am not a member of any other clubs or anything. I do try to attend the school board meetings when I can. Unfortunately, prior to this, it had been kind of difficult, but I am really, unfortunately, not a part of anything at this point.
Cool. So my question, same as everybody else's. Are you ready for the 3-year commitment?
Yes, I am. I actually had done a little bit of investigating and had talked to people that had known, what the commitment was, and so it wouldn't be a problem. I'm actually used to that busy time, just from, especially coming from financial institutions. That whole November to January, February time is always very busy. So I'm used to that, and it would not be a problem. And luckily, her father is in town, so if I, even needed backup for childcare, but as you can see, she does pretty well. So it would not be a problem. And hopefully, for her sake, I wouldn't have to bring her to any of the meetings. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else got anything? Okay. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave. And then once Dave is done, I have to read a statement from Luke Paneri.
Okay. Hi, my name is David Plaza, and thank you for having me here today. And Patrick, thank you for the reaching out by phone and email. Awesome idea. My name is Dave Plaza. I've lived in town since 2009, and I grew up in Hudson, New Hampshire. So born there, raised there. My parents still live there. Graduated of Bishop Girton High School, 9th in my class. I also have a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and a Master's in Electrical Engineering also. Some of this, some of the stuff that I have in my background in life goes way beyond education. My parents, my father, has done subdevelopments of property, so we have to learn about, how we're going to do these roads, what the plans look like, how are we going to accomplish this project. I have understandings of, walking properties with individuals. I've been a farmer for years on part-time in the past, Christmas Tree Farm, as a kid working, the vegetable farms down on Route 3A. And I also own, all my own construction equipment, so I have to have a full understanding of how all these pieces and parts work. My background really covers a lot of different areas. So that's one of the benefits I think will help me out in this position, because, you're talking construction equipment or you're talking AEDs. I work for a company that you're probably going to be buying from, Zoll. So, so I have a large background for different things. One of the benefits is, living in town and listening to a lot of the different people. My neighbor is an IT guy at the school system, so I talk to him fairly often. So I get a lot of information about, what they need to do. And when you throw numbers like, $500,000 for the locks, it's like, yeah, I can see why, because, he carries a set of keys that is, rivals anybody that you have, because there's so many different, locks and subsystems in the school. Also, my wife was on school board for 5 3/4 years. So I have an understanding from that perspective on what's going on. So I'm just looking forward to it. I was a member of the Londonderry Learning Committee, or class, back 5 years ago, I think we were in there. And then given what was going on in my house, my wife, started serving the town on the school board, and, we've always had conversations like, well, when are you going to join something? And now we're looking at everything that we have in our house. Now's my time. So, what kind of questions do you have?
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to give you the same three. So why are you running for the Londonderry Budget Committee? Geez Louise, sorry about that.
Write that down.
Oh, please don't.
It's time for me to give some time to the town. It's been enjoyable living in this town. The reason why we moved to this town was we had to convince a kindergarten/first grader that living in Manchester, he wasn't getting challenged enough, because he started out as half day kindergarten, the other half first grade. After 2 weeks, he says, I'm bored. So I was like, all right, this is not going to be fun. So let's move. So we decided to move to Londonderry and tell him, like, no, you got to start again at first grade. So that was one of the reasons why we moved here. It's because it's been a very good town. I mean, a lot of people that I have met, like through the town council, Churston, even the DPW guys that are dealing with the skunk issue over in Lions Hall. I think I have something I can offer.
All right, and what budget experience do you have in your work or home life?
Okay, I do have my own Quicken spreadsheet for everything I have in my house. I know, I can keep numbers also in the back of my head. It was like, where I think I am year over year. Or it's like, if I start out, at X number of dollars in the checking account, it's like, I can follow the math in my head, and it's like, oh, you know what? Am I close or not close at the end of the year? Is it a plus or minus or neutral? So I can keep a lot of numbers, et cetera, in my head. The second part is I've been a project manager for a company up in Manchester for a while, and the device that I worked on was like a $17 piece. It's a boom microphone that comes around to here that you would connect up to any headset for pilots. And so when you're looking at the budget of it, it's like, all right, this piece costs 10 cents, this piece costs this. The piece of shrink tubing with the identification tag on it, that's $1.10. It's like, well, how do you figure out how to get, an X number of dollars out or an X number of cents out of that product, to lower the cost? Because you're always looking to cut costs. And, come to find out, it's like if we bought our own machine, I think after 6 months we break even, and you start making money after that. And we were able to, look at it and say, well, there's 90 cents we just pulled out of the cost of this product. And when you're making $1,000 a day, it adds up pretty quick.
All right, and then what skills or experiences do you believe will be an asset to the budget committee?
Okay, it's my understanding of all, as I said before, all the different concepts or products or pieces and parts that the town provides with services, whether it be from AEDs to fire trucks to construction equipment, looking at the construction of roads, all those pieces and parts. I have the understanding of through my neighbor of what goes on in the IT system in school. And then also with the knowledge and understanding from my wife and listening to all the stories about the school board and then their budget, it's just all the different pieces that I've accumulated over the years. It's time to use them.
All right.
And I'll ask the same question. Any other committees or things you're engaged in town?
We just joined Rotary. My wife and I did. That was like 2 weeks ago. So that's going to be the big thing. Because they're a service organization. I've already volunteered my time for the car show. Love the old cars, old trucks. Those are, they're just beautiful. So, there's something there that we'll be donating our time to. Plus, my daughter has her suitcase project. So cool. I get dragged into that significantly. Like today, it's like, hey, can you bring this stuff to Webster House? And, of course, you bring in 4 suitcases full of crayons and stuff and whatever else they need, they come out with big smiles. So it kind of makes, it makes people feel really, really good. So, with those 2 components, I think that's where I'll at least start from.
That's cool. So same question, are you ready for in your case, the 1-year commitment?
Yes. And, you're looking at the schedule. I did have, Kirsten did give me, an email to say, hey, this is how it goes month by month. And it's like, I still put my name in. But, the other thing is, it's like if you look at the time and scheduling aspect of it, it's, when it's starting to ramp up, it's, right around the time of my favorite day of the year, which is the first day of frost, where everything around your house is fading quick. So, and then once first day of frost, what do you got to deal with? Maybe leaves and moving snow. So all that other time of every other project and stuff is, falling off my plate. And then, I will have the time for the budget committee.
Okay, so then I'll read, thanks.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna read, Luke Veneri. So Luke Veneri is our other candidate for the 1-year position. And he could not make it tonight because he's traveling for work. But he sent us a statement to read into the record. So it says, hello, my name is Luke Veneri, and I'm seeking a 1-year term on the Londonderry Budget Committee. I am currently a member of a council at the State House that works to advise the state legislature on issues important to young adults in New Hampshire. Because of this, I have gotten a first-hand experience in how young adults are being taxed out of the towns they were raised in. As someone who was raised in this town, went to school in this town, and wants to stay in this town, I am deeply concerned about the never-ending tax increases to seniors and young families alike. The majority of people who were raised here want to come back and raise a family. Because of increased taxes across the board, many can no longer do that. If elected, I hope to provide fiscal responsibility and increased transparency to our town government. I would appreciate your vote on March 12th. So that's Luke's statement on the 1-year budget committee position. So, what did I forget? I wrote down other things I wanted to do. Actually, I thought a lot of good comments were made. I really appreciate all of you running. You make some good assessments of what the budget process is like. And, I think Kate mentioned it's a difficult balance, and Jason mentioned the trade-offs, and that's really what a lot of it is, where we're trying to not have people's taxes be outrageous, but we're also trying to see the town continuing to move forward, and it's a tough tightrope to walk. And so that, in my opinion, is kind of what our role is making sure that we're on a good path, and but also trying to keep it reasonable for the taxpayers. And I thought there was another good point about that. There's lots of varied topics and information. Like you end up needing knowledge that you never thought you'd need. About vehicles, about buildings and construction, about personnel matters, all kinds of different things. We're looking at this budget, and yes, you need, to be able to read and understand the budget, which is a process in and of itself, but you also need to develop an understanding of what each department needs and why they're asking for the things they're asking for. Things I never thought we'd be talking about on Budget Committee, we spend lots of time talking about. Whether it's library plans or whether it's, fire trucks, we dig into a lot of stuff. So it really does require a varied background. But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming out. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, so we have very well-rounded candidates for Budget Committee. I want to thank you all for putting your names forward for running. That first of all, that's a huge step, just throwing your names out there. And the reason why I asked that last question about skills and experience that you think would prove to be an asset. When I came on the Budget Committee the first time, I had no experience managing a budget or in my work or personal experience. I had just gone out of college. So actually, no, I was still in college. So I was, I've never done anything along those lines, but I was able to bring in experiences from my home life, from my work life that proved to be an asset to the Budget Committee. And every single one of you provide something unique that will help us through the next year and the next several years with advising the town council and the school board on the Budget Committee. So thank you all for stepping forward. I look forward to seeing any of all of you here on the Budget Committee, and I have to say this: if you don't win this election, run again. I think that's the most important thing. Stay involved. Try to find a board with either the town council or the school board that you can get appointed to. Stay involved in the town. Everyone who's here or not here can provide a just something great for the town. So don't lose out. Just keep staying involved and either keep running again or just try to do something to help out the town. Thank you all.
Yes, Joe makes a good point. There's usually vacant positions that the town needs people for. And they wouldn't let Ron and I stay on like 3 positions anymore. So. True. So however the results turn out, I would encourage you to continue to serve. So, okay, then we need to talk about the meeting schedule. So, Kirsten talked to me, maybe a month or so ago about moving to the 3rd Thursday of every month instead of the 4th, because on the 4th Thursday, we conflict with the Heritage Commission, I believe. And actually, we've had some citizens say, well, I didn't know these were both going on at the same time. You know, they kind of wanted to be in 2 places at once. So we think it would be better if Budget Committee was not at the same time as the Heritage Commission. So we were talking about the 3rd Thursday. I think the town council weighed in on it and likes the idea.
Yep.
So if nobody has any objections, that's where we're going to go to. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
I don't think it requires a vote. I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop.
I can.
That's your job to make. If we don't like it, then you just have us to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I will not be able to make next month if we do change it to the 3rd.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fine.
okay.
That's cool. It's short notice. I get that. So, so theoretically, our next meeting would be Thursday, March 21st, and our following meeting would be Thursday, April 18th. We can project it out further if we like, but those are the only 2 I put on here. And for candidates and sitting members, we usually don't meet in July, and so that gives us a nice month off. We pretty much try and make it a little bit lighter over the summer months.
Do we know the April date? Is that school vacation week or is that the week prior? Okay.
It is the week before, yes.
So
It's
it's
the week
better.
of Massachusetts school vacation week.
Very good.
So, because I'm on vacation. But yeah, it's the week before our New Hampshire school vacation.
Very good.
So, anybody got anything else? Okay, well then, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Cool. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6-0.